Let's Play! Hi guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Analogue, a hate story. In the last part we read about High Magistrate Smith Sang-min's legendary temper, and this part we're reading the last part of the Smith saga, I guess, entitled Drank Himself to Death by Oh Seo-jin. As horrible as it is to say, I don't think anyone was really surprised when brother-in-law Sang-jin was found dead. Nobody asked how, nor has anyone so much as mentioned the word drinking in my presence since. Even the ordinarily extremely candid Mute has been entirely somber. Mother-in-law, I understand why she's been taking it so hard, and I've been working hard to stay well out of her way while the funeral preparations are being settled. But for Mute, I had no idea they were so close. Yet in our last conversation, I could have sworn she was on the verge of tears. I've never seen such a reaction from her in all my time here. As for myself, I have an awful confession I can make to no one. I have to put on a somber face, acting as though I'm as sad as the rest, since that is, of course, what is expected. But it pains me to admit that I'm not. It is not as if I don't find it tragic, and I feel bad for thinking this. But I didn't know him at all. How could I possibly bring myself to feel as upset as I'm expected to be? Well, you've seen pretty much everything that matters about the Smith family now. I'm still parsing this all myself. You know, most of it's new to me, too. I mean, when I was alive, I didn't even know the Smith family existed. Maybe Jae-wha mentioned them once. I don't really remember. It's been 600 years. I don't think she did. I really wish I'd known about Seo-jin at the time. I really, really do. What do you think? You satisfied with that overview? I guess I am, yeah? Oh, well, that's good. So what do you think of them, then? I think they're all... Whoops, I didn't mean, like... Oh, wait, no, that's the good one. I mean, no, it's not. Oh, crap, I didn't even think. I guess that's one opinion to have. What about Seo-jin? Aren't you at least sympathetic to her? Yes, I am. Sure, the men were all disasters. She didn't really deserve that. Especially given how cute she was in the beginning. How unfair is that? She seems like a character out of one of those romances I used to read all the time. I used to really like before going in... I can't read. She seems like a character out of one of the romances I used to really like before I went into stasis. Before going into stasis. She could... let's just try this again. She clearly deserved way better than what she got. Well, that's how it is, I suppose. Anyway, I guess we should be getting back to whatever we were talking about before. Well, yeah, I guess so. So that was block 3. We're done with block 3 now. Let's head on to block 6 now. Block 6 has just... Oh, it's from The Pale Bride. Oh, interesting. So it's by Hyun-ae herself. Dear Diary, I guess it's been forever since I cared enough to write anything down. I just haven't seen so much... I just haven't seen much point. Since my last century, I got married, moved into the palace, and lost my virginity. Apparently for a girl my age, none of these are really all that weird. The Queen finally insisted on talking to me the night after I first slept with my dearest husband. I've been expecting it. My sister warned me that she would probably be jealous, and I just have to endure it. She outranks me, and I would simply have to kowtow. Excuse me for a second. Define kowtow. Kowtow. Kneel and touch the ground with the forehead in worship as submission. Of Chinese... Well, now I know. Simply have to kowtow her if need be. I haven't had to yet, though. We had tea together. She had started it by acting friendly. I'm sure sister was right. I'll get the brunt of her anger soon enough. But today she was friendly. How are you holding up? She asked after we finished with the tea. I shrugged. Do trust me. I know how hard it can be for a newlywed. I've been through it myself, but I was at least older. You probably miss your family, do you not? That's what was expected from any good girl. So I nodded. It gets easier with time. I had no response. I'm sorry, am I bothering you? You can leave if you wish. I simply thought you might like some company. I wasn't sure how to respond to that either. I just clasped my hands and shook my head. I just wanted to be sure, she said. There was a long pause that followed. Finally, she asked, how was that night? Or how was last night? It surprised me she was willing to bring up the subject. Figuring that it was a segue into her being vindictive towards me for sleeping with her husband, I shrugged and continued. I know it can be rough. Nobody ever talked about those duties with me. Then she smiled. I felt almost like I could drop my guard. I had no idea what to expect my first time. Do believe me, I'm not jealous. There's nothing to be jealous of. But do tell me how it was. It made me think back to last night. Honestly, it was the best night I've had since waking up in the future. Everyone, my mother, my sister, and now my queen, warned me that it would be bad. It would be a duty and nothing more. But honestly, I did love it. I would have let him keep me up all night if I had the energy to. I guess while I was thinking about all that, I let out a slight smile. I caught myself, but not before she noticed. Oh, did you enjoy it then? She asked, touching my arm. I jumped. Please be at ease. Sabs is perfectly alright too. So long as you know it's not just for him, there's absolutely no shame in it. There is none. I expected her to jump into something passive-aggressive from that, but she didn't. All she did was change the subject, and said that she was really worried about me. Maybe she isn't so bad. So, you can see, she was kind. She was really good to me, she was. I take it you want to know more about my marriage, then. What are you interested in? I want to know more about Hyun-ae. And you're in luck. She's in all these entries. Well, she was really the only thing in my life worth writing about, for the most part. There's only one thing that she wrote herself, about her husband, and you can see for yourself. She's a lot stronger than I ever was. So you can see for yourself why I admired her. And, well, just read them, alright? Okay, sounds good. Actually, can we get the husband's entries if we can? So, oh, nope, guess not. Next entry, little sister. Oh wait, is there one before it? Is there one? Sometimes they put one before. Nope, little sister now. From the Pale Bride again. Dear Diary, attending to my husband has been easier than I was afraid it would be. Yes, there's days when it requires more strength than usual to keep going. Still getting more increasingly sick. Nothing will change that. But it's not so bad, really. All I have to do is dote on him, try to anticipate his desires, and he's happy with me. No abuse or anything. Sure, it's not as if I like him. He's an ugly 40-year-old man who only cares about politics and never tells me anything. Love? Well, that's certainly no concern. I don't know where I ever got the impression that something was... I don't know where I ever got that impression that something that could have had... I can't read today. I ever got the impression that was something that could happen in a marriage. I thought it was something from the past, but... Well, when I was young before I was put into stasis. Must have been a mistake of childhood. But so long as I do as I'm told, I'm not mistreated, like I was by my sister. And sleeping with him feels good. I really hope I don't get pregnant soon. I don't want that to stop. Doing that is really the only thing that makes me happy these days. Well, that and Joey's talks with me. She's nice. She keeps me company when I stay up to wait for his return. She fetches servants to take me to bed on those days I'm too feverish to sit down for too long, and she just talks to me as if I'm a friend. I don't really understand why, but I guess she really doesn't hate me after all. Do let me tell you, she said one evening while she brushed my hair. I've always wanted a little sister growing up. That's how I think of you. Does that make sense? I shrugged. It was nice of her, and it felt so relaxing to let her touch my hair like that. She wasn't really waiting for a response anyway, but now she knows better. She just keeps talking kindly to me. Here's Illiterate by Hyun-ae herself. The more she lives in my house, the more I am confused by the mystery that is the Pale Bride. No wonder why my husband has been favoring the Kim family lately. Their daughter seems to be the perfect woman. She's simply not a pale beauty. She's always too shy to speak at all, let alone argue. She seems to hang off his every word, and it turns out is actually so completely humble in her education that she cannot read. Or rather, she cannot read normal characters. I've observed her writing to herself, in perhaps what may be a diary. When I asked what it was, she wouldn't say, but was quick to hide it. I could not recognize a single character on her screen, however. They seemed to be simplified compared to regular writing. Perhaps she's invented a writing system just for herself? It is very strange. Did you ever receive those letters I sent to your house before you arrived? I asked, curious. Seemingly, she had. Did you read them? Her response was worried, as if she was scared that I would be angry to find out that she hadn't. I was not, of course. I'm sorry, I just assumed. Are you able to read? That was when I found out that she wasn't. I offered to read them to her, to which she seemed quite enthusiastic. I think I am likely to leave out some parts, however. I had enough difficulty bringing myself to writing the more embarrassing parts. I had enough difficulty bringing myself to writing the more embarrassing parts of the family history. Bringing myself to talk about them, even if I knew she would never say anything, is just far too much. Like all things with her, I cannot tell whether her enthusiasm is sincere or an effort to make me happy. This troubles me. Of course I wasn't illiterate. I could read just fine, just not their stupid Chinese-based letters. I mean, I can understand them now. Everything except for my diary entries is translated from them. It's such a dumb way of writing, though. It makes everything come out so stilted compared to proper Korean. Well, anyway, show me that because you're interested in her admissions, right? I'll pretend I know what that word is, yes? Then here, I'll give you the letters she sent. They give all the details, even the ones she seemed too embarrassed to tell me about at the time. You can probably guess which part she cut out. It's pretty obvious. It's the incest thing that she never told me about at the time. Having read about it now, I really don't blame her. And, well, you can see what I mean for yourself. But I think we'll read those next time, guys. So, next chapter is Mutinous. We'll read it next time, when hopefully I can read, because that would be nice. See you guys next time. Ciao.